So I was just listening to one of Michael Ashcroft's course videos where he's talking about the finger and the moon and about noticing the difference between commanding yourself to do something and intending to do it. And I had an idea for another video that he could make, and then I just decided to make it myself. So this is that video. And it touches on this topic, which he and I are both very interested in, which is the topic of intention. What does it mean to intend to do something? And my app, Accomplice, which is, I described to someone today as being about bringing presence to your experience of doing things. Accomplice, instead of having tasks in it, it has a list of things with checkboxes. It has it has intentions. The idea being that intentions are something internal to you, and of course the intentions in the app are just representing those. They are in some fundamental way not the intention itself. They are a representation of the intention. But it's still pointing at how what they are representing is not a task that exists outside of you. It is the intention in you that you have. And so with this video, this is going to be interactive. It's going to be a little kind of experiment. And I'll first do something a little bit similar to what he does in his video, which is basically I want you to take a moment and raise your hand. And so somehow you have the ability to intend to raise your hand, and then the hand raises. Now, if I said, I want you to do a backflip, probably most of you don't know how to do a backflip. So it would be hard to intend to do a backflip because you have to intend to learn how to do a backflip, and that would be a whole process. But you can't just simply do a backflip. That's not sort of something that works in that way. Moments ago, you were trying to figure out what the hell was happening with the audio. I applied an effect to make the audio go weird. What I want you to notice about that is that probably, maybe not, but probably, you suddenly had an intention that didn't come from, like when I said to raise your hand, you probably didn't sort of follow that automatically, hypnotically, right? Like you were probably, aware of the intention to raise your hand and doing so. But when something went confused with the audio, you probably, your experience of listening to that was that you were suddenly like, wait, what's going on? And you poked at your computer or your phone or wherever it is that you're listening to this to try to understand what was going on without even realizing that you were creating this new intention to figure out what was going on. And I thought that this would be a cool example with a video because I was trying to find something like what could give somebody an intention without them sort of realizing that they've got that intention, general and predictably in a situation where I'm just a guy on a video. And I was like, oh, well, if something disrupts your experience of listening to the video, then you're going to probably be like, what's going on? And that'll produce this intention to figure out what's going on and fix it. Now, that intention exists as kind of a sub-intention to your intention to watch this video, which on some level you clearly have because you're watching it. Maybe some people bailed at the point when the audio went weird. They're like, oh, that's weird, but anyway, I'm at the store or whatever, I'm listening to this on my phone, whatever, the subway car's here or something, and just ditched it. But yeah, so it exists as a kind of sub-intention to watching the video. And one thing that something getting disrupted can do is cause you to drop the larger intention that you have. And this is a very common experience, right? Like if you're working on a project or even yesterday I wanted to add a new thing to the homepage of Accomplice, and I basically already had it. I just needed to copy parts of it from the other page, and that was super quick. And then I got in this slight conflict about where I wanted to put it on the homepage, and that conflict caused me to sort of jump out a little bit of my intention into a kind of autopilot of doing something else, because I was in an autopilot of working on the intention, and then I encountered a thing I couldn't solve on autopilot because I was conflicted about how to do it. And rather than noticing that and kind of pausing and going, okay, what do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Instead, I found myself just doing something else instead. I forget what it was now. And then later I realized, and I was like, oh, okay, well, and it took the time and the attention to actually sort out this conflict. And so disruptions to what we're doing often produce some other kind of intention. That could be a disruption from an interruption, or a disruption of, even just, or a disruption internal to what we're doing, like something blocks it, is in the way of us achieving what we're aiming to do. Anyway, so this is another, kind of pointing out instruction to the nature of intention, to the nature of noticing intention. And I thought what would be fun about this is that it would allow you to notice a kind of unconscious attention, or a kind of unconscious intention that can arise in relation to doing something. I think it's worth noting that this is not always a sub-intention of what you were already doing. Like, for instance, if you, if what you're doing is, watching this video, say, and there's like a loud crash behind you, you're going to turn around to find out what that is, not because it's in the way of you watching the video. I guess in some sense it is in the way of some background intention you have to like have situational awareness, right? Like there is some level of intention that it is a sub-intention too. And the PCT model has a bunch of really cool stuff about the different kind of layers of this. Anyway, I'll pause there because I want this to be a short video, but that is something I noticed. Let me know in the comments how that worked for you. Like, really, I would love to know, did it have the desired effect or not? Either of those answers would be super useful for me. So if you could just even leave a, sentence fragment, grammatically incorrect comment being like, yep, it worked, or no, it didn't work, that would be of use to me. Michael, if you want to put this in your course, feel free, or if you want to like remix it, make your own version of it, totally feel free to do that.